All right, a very good morning to everybody. Very good morning to you, Ashley Reeve here from TD Markets Academy, guys. An absolute pleasure being with you today. Before we get started here, this is the opening bell where we discuss information. Please note, guys, it is only opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. We want to get straight into the charts this morning, and we are looking pretty good. I see the guys are online there. Mongiseni, I got MQ, I got Jules right there. Good morning, guys. Don't forget our trading room at this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Make sure you are there, all right? But let's get into this morning. Some updates on the United States and some of the precious metals, as we know to be gold and silver there. Silver stayed around, the 37 per ounce, 37.4, holding strong after recent gains. Let me just get to the chart so I can show you. It really held, strong after recent gains. And why is this? Because traders do believe that, the Federal Reserve may cut the interest rates in September, especially after the weak U.S. jobs data. So the markets are now expecting over 0.6% in rate cuts by year end. All right. And the gold also hovered around 3,370 per ounce, also supported by the same expectations for rate cuts. All right. So the extra support came in after the federal governor resigned, giving Trump, a chance to appoint someone likely to support lower rates. Plus, Trump's new tariffs on exports are pushing investors toward the safe haven asset like the gold or silver. All right, so let's see what happens here. Potential exit at 37.94, and obviously we got that gold as well. It is correcting right now. It is correcting at this point in time. We came up beautifully yesterday. And you can see that there is a correction possibly taking place now for us to obviously push a little bit higher. So we're going to watch this and we'll review it in the trading room as well. And then obviously Trump did threaten higher tariffs on India, with all trade with Russia. And obviously, Trump is not happy with Russia at this point in time. The EU, the European Union, paused their planned retaliation tariffs on the US for about 6 months. This is to allow a bit more time for negotiations, all right? But the key issues like the 15% on US tariffs on EU goods are still not resolved. And investors are obviously watching some US data this week, like the trade numbers and the ISM numbers as well. And then obviously we want to get to the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, guys. The Aussie did fall to about 0.60. 64.6. Markets do expect those rate cuts to come in, which we've been chatting about for some time. They expect the central bank to cut rates to 3.6% at August, I beg your pardon, at August 12th's meeting. That's next week, Tuesday, I believe. And inflation is obviously slowing, and job ads are dropping as well. And however, the growth measure called the composite PMI hits its highest levels, or it did hit its highest level since 2022, thanks to stronger services and manufacturing. So we are seeing some more downside here, but we need that cut to come in, and it will give us a more solidified position. So you can see we've come down to our zones that we anticipated right there, and we're just looking for price to come down and dip down here to give us the 0.63. Once we get the 0.63, guys, we are closer to breaking free from all of this movement here and then coming down to these levels here at 0.61. So we got to wait for it, guys. Obviously, there's guys that are getting in now for the sell. And guys, like we said, we're not here to tell you how to trade. We're not going to give you the opinion, meaning advice and say, listen, sell now. But we are very aware that people are obviously trying to sell at a higher place versus a lower place. So that's just how traders are thinking. And so there are guys that have gotten in. There are more conservative traders that's going to wait for the drop rather before they get in. Then obviously, don't forget the New Zealand dollar, guys. It's also a bit sluggish here. It dropped to about 0.59, 58 cents, reversing its recent gains to the upside at 61, excuse me. And so markets expect unemployment to rise in New Zealand, guys, to about 5.3%. 5.3%. That's the highest since 2016, all right? And the central bank is also adding pressure to that specific unemployment rate by doing these cuts that they're expected to have. One cut and then they stop for the year, all right? So from August 7th, which is in 2 days' time, the U.S. tariffs on NZD goods will rise from 10 to 15%, and this adds economic stress to the economy. So if we get a break and we keep pushing down below, we looking to go to the 0.57 area, guys, 0.57 area, which I've highlighted there. I'll have a look again this afternoon in the trading room for this, but so far this is where we at. And then lastly, the USD JPY, the Japanese yen, it did hold at the 147 level. As you can see, there could be a potential short-term exit here. Very potential, if I can put it like that, or probability for it to push to the downside. If we do break beneath the 146, that looks like an area many guys are going to want to engage in. All right, 146.61 down to 145. So we're going to have to wait and see how it does pan out for the morning. Check in again at midday, obviously where these are, and then obviously guys at 2 o'clock join me there and we'll go through some of these charts for some opportunities to see what's happening in the markets. But that's it from me, guys. Maybe something extra there. Don't forget the US 30, as those stock futures there, guys, excuse me, they edged a little bit higher. Investors did digest some of the earnings there. Palantir jumped 4% after strong results. Hims and Hers dropped 13% after missing estimate, and there's still big names that are still reporting soon, like AMD, Pfizer, Snap, Rivian, and Yum. These brands are still going to come out. So just a quick one on the Dow. It rose 1.34%. The S&P 500 added 1.47% in terms of growth, and then the Nasdaq jumped 1.95%. So gains were driven by the hopes of a Fed rate cut in September after those disappointing numbers of last week in NFP. All right, so let's have a look, guys. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be interesting. I'll see you guys at 2 o'clock this afternoon via YouTube for the trading room. And if you are not a client, please visit www.tdmarkets.com. You can also email our support team at care@tdmarkets.com. And obviously, if you are a client and there's some queries, you have some support needed, you can also email care@tdmarkets.com. That's it from me this morning. What a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Ashley Reeve, I'm signing out. Ciao, ciao.